Hey Hoopers, it's Deanne, Love here, and in this week's tutorial, I'm going to share with you one of my improv hoop dance flow sessions that I did on Instagram. Now it is a twin flow session, so if you have two hoops that are kind of a similar size, then I want you to grab those and follow along with me. I'm going to show you what the flow looks like first of all, then I'm going to break it down and then break it down even more. So please don't worry if you're not a twin hooper, this is going to be a beautiful one for you because there are some more complex moves and then there's some really cruisy, easy dance flows. So go and grab your hoops. I'm using 90 centimeter Poly Pro, but it's totally up to you. Grab them now and I'll wait for you. So I'm going to break down the flow step by step. I'll just kind of run it through first, and if you want to follow along, that's totally cool, and then we'll dive into some of the more complex moves. Remember, you don't have to be a twin hooper to try this out. All right, so we start in this first position, and if you did watch my Instagram video, you'll notice that I was getting really dramatic and down low. You can play around with all of that stuff later, but let's just kind of roll through it. So the hoops are out in front, and you want to put your hands at the 12 o'clock mark at the top. And what I want you to see if you can do is spin the hoops in towards you and stop them again. So just give that a little roll. You might want to maybe just like put your palms nice and flat. You can play around with it. You might want to go one way and then the other. So you can really mess around with that. You'll notice that even though that seems like a really simple concept, it can be quite challenging to get it to balance. So just messing around with that coordination, maybe one side and then the other. And then we're going to take our right hand first and we roll it onto the inside of the hoop, and then you want your thumb to come down towards your toes. And then this second hand, you roll it to the inside of the hoop and then your thumb comes down towards your toes. So you have this kind of crossed over vesica effect. How are you going? Does that feel good? Now what's going to happen is you're going to take your arms out away from you, like spread your wings as you stand up, and your thumbs will go towards the ceiling. Now you're in this kind of upright posture and you'll be feeling like you have these beautiful angel wings. Now at this part, when I was improvising on Instagram, I started to walk forward and draw my elbows down towards my ribs. So you can try and do that. And what's happening is you're isolating the hoops down. So we went from this crossover point at the front and then thumbs towards the ceiling, and the hoops are going to go down behind your back and they're going to cross over into this vesica here. And then as you step forward, if the stepping's too much for you right now, you can just chill and stand there. That's totally okay. But you're going to draw your elbows down towards your side body. Your thumbs will be out. And then we're going to do 2 iso pops. Don't get freaked out by that if you don't know what that means. All that we're going to do is spread our hands out. So we spread our wings, let go, and then grab again. Okay, so we go out to the side, let go, and grab again. If that feels too crazy, then you can do 1 at a time. 1 and 2. And eventually, you'll feel like you can do both at the same time. Cool. All right, how's that all feeling? So we started here. 1 spin either out or in, thumb towards the floor, thumb towards the floor, thumbs up to the sky, and then we're going to spread our wings out, just here. Does that feel okay? Now, you're going to bring your hands in front and bring your hoops into your front plane. So to do that, all you're going to do is scoop your thumbs down towards the floor, and now you're in front. You should have your hands on top. Now, the next move is called the butterfly. And if you don't know this, we're going to break it down right now. This is a really cool move. And actually, when I was doing this move or this whole entire flow session on Instagram, it was because of this move, because this move was super challenging for me many, many years ago when I first started hooping. And I remember all of the frustration and the hard work that I put into just this really simple move. And I was feeling for all of you hoopers who are starting out and trying to struggle through certain moves, and just letting you know it's okay, don't give up. Some moves are really challenging, and that's all right. So let's break this one down. What happens is you're going to do a side weave with your right hand and a side weave with your left hand. Seems so simple, but something kind of goes a little crazy when you have to do both at the same time. So I'm going to show you from behind. What happens is, because we've been following our thumbs for all of this tutorial so far, is thumb goes out to the side. Notice my elbow is high, in line with my shoulder. So try that on one side, and then try it on the other side. One side is going to feel a whole lot better than the other. Okay, so you have thumb out, elbow high, thumb out, elbow high. How's that feeling? And if this is something that feels really good for you and you're totally into these double side weaves, then you can just be practicing loosening up your shoulders, playing with any variations that feel right for you. Okay, so if you're at this stage, I'm with you. I get it. It's tricky, but it's also this incredible amplification of your coordination. You're going to love it once you get it. All right, so have a little go, and no stress if it doesn't work for you. But what's going to happen is when one is behind your body, the other one starts. So notice my yellow hoop, that's my right hand hoop, is in front, while my left hand hoop, that's my orange hoop, is at the back. So it looks like this. How's that feeling? If it feels a little crazy, come back to right hand, left hand, right hand, left hand. Equally beautiful. Right hand, left hand. When you feel ready, you can start to pick up the pace. Left in front, right in front, left in front, right in front, left in front, right in front. Give yourself a little bit of time to drill this if you need to, or if you're feeling ready, let's move on to the next part of the sequence. Okay, we're going to move on from this butterfly move, but again, no stress if you don't have it, just roll with it. You will find other pockets of magic in this flow session, I promise. So, we are going to turn to the right. It's a transition that looks like this, from butterfly to a 2-hoop stall, which means that we'll be just holding the hoops down at 6 o'clock inside grip. And what we need to do is a thumb 4-finger switch with this front hand. Now, I have a YouTube tutorial for this one, so if you need to check it out, I'm going to link it below, and you can totally work on this thumb 4-finger switch, because we go from outside grip to thumb 4-finger switch inside grip. Okay, so give yourself some time. I know it looks simple, but it can be a little bit challenging, so don't be too hard on yourself. Okay, so once you feel kind of confident with that thumb 4-finger switch in the front hoop, and for me that's my left hoop because I'm turning to the right, you're going to have both hands down inside base, and you simply want to do like this kind of slide. Notice I am not doing anything. This is an optical illusion. I'm not changing the grip of my hoop. I'm not doing anything wild. I'm just creating shapes and lines right here. And even this grip can be a little bit hard to hold on to, so see how you go. Some of you might like to do an extra pop at the back. That's totally cool. All right, we are going into a move called chaser from here. So to transition position, it's really simple. You're going to let your hoops drop down so they hinge through your hands. Nothing changes. You're going to have right hand on top, wrist down, left hand on the bottom, wrist up. And the chaser looks like this, just in case you weren't quite sure. And this is how we do it. We're going to do that thumb forefinger switch again with the top hand, and we do a down or low weave and then a high weave with our right hand, and then a high weave and a low weave with our bottom hand. I'm going to link another tutorial to this actual move down below so you can also work on this part. So turning with it can help, but we're going down, down, up, up. And notice that I'm kind of like sweeping my hair back over my head. Well, not actually sweeping my hair back, but it feels like that. Like I'm swinging back and swinging forward. And there's a little hinge in my hips to make space. How's that feeling? I also remember this move was really challenging for me in the beginning because it requires both left and right coordination. I actually even remember where I was when I was learning this. I was standing in the park in the middle of Tokyo. I'm not going to say I was crying, but it felt like it. Lots of frustration because for most of us, we are dominant on one side our whole entire lives, and then suddenly we're expected to kind of perform and do things in a balanced way. So hooping's really good for your brain. So, all right. So from the chaser here, and remember we're going to break this down again. It's going to feel really smooth. We go into a move where we wrap the hoop at the front of our body and wrap the hoop at the back. So looks like this here. So for me, I have my right hoop in front and my left hoop at the back. I have my right wrist up and my left hoop, left wrist at the back. And then I unlock that. I'm going to bring my right hoop down on top, and I'm in this kind of cool Vesica position again. It's something that I love to refer to time and time again. When in doubt, come back to this point where the hoops are crossed and they have those two intersections. Now my thumbs are towards each other, and right here, you could just stay and play and create shape and dance, but I'm going to do an isolation barrel roll. And I'm focusing on my right hand hoop. And my left guy is just coming along with me. Okay, so we're going to turn, just focusing on my right hand hoop and turn again. How did that feel? All the way around. Awesome. Okay, now I'm in this kind of weird grip, so I have to somehow let go, and I'm going to drop my front hoop first, which is my right one, out to the side and catch, thumb up. Now this one is like, it needs to be identical to my right hand, so I'm going to do kind of a thumb forefinger switch, and now I'm back in this really relaxed, easy position where like anything could happen. Thumbs up and hoops out to the side. Now from here, I created a little bit of drama, a bit of intensity by bringing the hoops behind me, and I put all the back weight or all the weight on my back leg and then just draw my front leg with a pointed toe across. And this is just creating shapes. Many of you say, I can't dance, I don't know how to flow, but it can be something as simple as the way that you look down at the ground, or how you raise your chest to the sky, or how you draw a line with your toe. This is all the expression and movement of your body. You are a dancer. You can move. Now, from this point, I did a very subtle turn of my hoops at the back. Like almost because all of the intensity and drama was in the way that I was holding my body. So I just wanted to do a really kind of light take of the hoops, like something is happening, but it doesn't have to be a crazy trick. From here, because my hands are on top, I'm going to do this very simple but very powerful move. I'm going to rebalance, and then right thumb and right hoop comes up and over and grazes the back of my left tricep and then back down. And then left thumb comes up and over and grazes the back of my right tricep and down. Hello, stretch. Now, the cool thing about this is you can look at your hoop, You can move your hips from side to side. And then we're in the home stretch. This is it. This is where you get to finish the rest of the choreography for yourself. All that I did, because my hands were on top, is I raised the hoops above my head and I'm in this Vesica position again. Now from here, many of you who might be experienced with twin hoops, there are so many ways. You can do jump throughs, you can do turns, you can go into any of the other more advanced weaves. All right, so that is the first little breakthrough. I hope that you are still here and still ready to kind of roll it through and get some flow. And that's the only way that we can start to bring this coordination together. So grab a drink of water if you need to. Otherwise, let's roll it through together. All right, let's roll this through. I have faith in you, and I also bet I can just imagine that you're doing all of these other cool moves or coming up with new creativity, which is what it's all about. This is just a framework, and this was an improv that I did to a beautiful, slow song. So you might want to amp up the pace and make it a little quicker, or you might like to slow it down and really feel into each of the moves. Okay, you ready? Got those two hoops. We're going to roll it all together. So hands on top, we do a simultaneous spin or one then the other. And I like to be really kind of assertive with the stop so that I can get a nice flat plane. Otherwise, it's going to just be like, whoa, wonky all over the place, which is it's all good. So let's try that one. Another thing that I would say with this is that I did kind of bend all the way down. So I got, just because I wanted to get a nice stretch in my shoulders, but it's up to you. So all the way down or standing up with heart open. And then we go shift the grip onto the inside, thumb down. Shift the grip, thumb down. So we're kind of crossed at the elbows. Then we raise those thumbs to the sky. Hoops go to the back and they cross over. Open up through the chest so that you can really make space for the hoops behind you. Now draw the elbows down so you're isolating both hoops. And if it feels okay for you, at the same time, out, let go, hold on, bring it back in. So out and in. Now sometimes your hoops are going to clash at the back, and I highly recommend, if you can, just opening up through your chest a little bit more and really pushing the arms out. How does that feel? Is that okay? Working it. All right. Now we scoop the hoops down, so we drop them and they come in front, and this is where we pick up the shoulder blades and drop them back down, and then pick up the elbows because we're going for this butterfly, and you really want to have that neat upper body form. Otherwise, you're going to be feeling kind of like you don't understand the planes and the hoops are going to be going everywhere. You make it hard for yourself. Trust me, it's how I learned. So elbows high, chest open, and find that rhythm. When one is at the front, the other is at the back. Now for me, when my right hand is at the back and my left is at the front, I'm going to right hand drive down. I'm in this awesome, perfect position for the next move to transition. And then this front one, thumb, forefinger. And again, I'm on the inside. Now I do this optical slide. Is that what we're calling it? That feels good. And then drop the hoops down so you have one on top of the other. The top hoop does a thumb, forefinger switch, and then you're going to move into the chaser. Being mindful that I'm going around to the left because that is my dominant spin direction. But it's totally up to you. You might want to do it in both directions. When it feels good for you, you're going to come to this wrap position, one hoop at the back, one hoop at the front, and then the front hoop comes up and down. And the bottom hoop, you might have to do a little hand switch or flip over if you're not in the right position. But if you're in flow, that always happens. It's totally fine. And you're going to bring the top hoop down to the bottom. And we kind of create this tension by just pushing one hoop against the other, and that means that they're not going to slide, and you get this really nice kind of Vesica shape. Then right here, you can swing through the shoulders, and remember, we concentrate on the top hoop to do the isolation barrel roll. Let's go all the way around and stop right here. Now we need to go to that open hand position, so I drop the front hoop first, drop and catch thumb up. The second hoop that's in my front plane, I'm going to do a thumb forefinger, thumb up. Here we are, feeling great. Now, if you want to bring in any intensity, if you want to do some other moves here, that is totally up to you to explore that creativity. And then right thumb up and over, left thumb up and over, and then we're in the vesica above the head, ready to transition into whatever feels right for you. All right, Hooper, how did you go? I know that this week's tutorial is a little bit longer, and I love that you follow along with me and then find those pockets of space where you can create your own moves. And I hope that this flow session shows you that it doesn't have to be all these like big, wild technical tricks, but you can also bring in a lot of posing and a lot of line and circle shapes so that you can really create your own expression with twin hoops. If you have any troubles or if you totally love this flow session, then I want you to leave a comment down below. Let me know how you go. Let me know if you have any questions. Don't forget to check out the original flow session on Instagram. I am at DeanneLoveXO. And if you do this flow session, please tag me. I would love to see your version of it. All right, good luck with it. Big hoop love from me to you. Mwah.